What's going on, everyone? It's Alex back here with another weather update. Oh my god, we got a lot to talk about. We have a huge winter storm on the way on like the hugest magnitude I've seen in a while. I mean, this could be on the order of feet of snow for the Northeast and Mid Atlantic. This could be absolutely insane. And the model trends that have been going with this has been quite significant. So we're going to be taking a look at the Euro and the GFS today. As always, we start off with the GFS and see what's going on first. But if we go back to the 0Z, you're gonna notice that it's gonna look a lot different than our current 18Z. The reason why is that it was more on a southern shift trend track, and you can see that there's an ice storm developing across the Arklatex, Arkansas, Tennessee, into the Carolinas, then starts to become a massive winter storm from the Mid-Atlantic before exiting out. And then we have another big winter storm in store before February 1st. Now let's go here to the 18Z, which is our latest model guidance. And as we can see, the 25th, it did trend a little bit north, but still has the same idea, except that first wave is a bit weaker. I don't agree with that. And then by the time we get into the first, it doesn't show that storm as 12Z did. So that's pretty interesting. The 12Z took this thing right up the coast, as you can see, I think. Yeah, look at that. Look at that bombing out with low pressure. Whew, yeah. But again, GFS. So let's start off with 7 p.m. Saturday here. You're going to start off, Friday, 7 p.m. You're going to start off with a bit of an ice event across Texas. Then as we get into 1 a.m., starts to overspread into the Arklatex region. But to the north, you're dealing with some pretty decent snow into Oklahoma City. 7 a.m., snow shield expands, intensifies, and the ice storm intensifies. Starts to get some crippling ice accumulation up to half an inch to an inch as possible. Snow still keeps moving north after 1 p.m. Starts to enter places like Nashville. Portions of the western North Carolina border. You get ice into Atlanta as well. Atlanta starts to get some heavy ice to 7 p.m. Snow starts to spread into the Virginias, the Carolinas. Snow as well. And then, interestingly enough, the GFS interacts another piece of energy in the back of it to Arkansas and the Arklatex region to Texas. And I think the ice amount here could be 1 to 2 inches. And keep in mind, a half an inch of ice weighs 250 pounds, 1 inch of ice weighs 749 pounds, and 2 inches of ice weigh 2,200 pounds. So if we got 2 inches of ice near Atlanta, that would be absolutely catastrophic. And then we get the heavy snow to climb up the coast. Little bit of a nor'easter trying to develop. It could be interesting. And that thing's out of here. And then again, as we all saw, look what happens near the first. So quite wild. Snowfall accumulations. You're going to probably laugh. But this is the current GFS. Oh my god. That's a swath from 16, 15, 15, northern Louisiana, central Mississippi, looking at central Georgia, even dealing with a foot of snow, and then all the way up the I-95 corridor, 20 plus inches of snow. Do I believe that? Hell no. 20 inches of snow is a bit of a stretch, but I will say it's possible over this weekend storm. I will say it is possible. Now, the Euro is going to look drastically different. Watch your eyes vanish in time just a bit. 12's Euro. Let's go back to that. and it's gonna look a lot different. Not like a whole ton different, but you will notice it. So this is for your Friday 7 p.m. And you notice from this picture that you're noticing that snow line was a lot further south on the GFS. And those small scale details dictate whether this area gets snow or does it get ice and rain. That small little detail from Texas and the Arklatex region can really dictate what is going to happen over the Mid-Atlantic. And from this Euro perspective, snow breaks out. However, Texas is a lot of rain, not ice. Mixed precipitation, a lot of rain. And when you see this warm air surge with rain like this here, that indicates to me that there's a warm nose in the atmosphere. As you can see, 38 degrees, and you have that classic warm nose going up. But I will say, when you get this ice and rain to combine together, let's take a look at Arkansas. 26 degrees, and you may think this is snow. It's not. And I want you to look at this hodograph very closely with your eyes and tell me what you're noticing. 26 degrees, that's your green line. What do you notice? And this is going to be your 0Z cutting across. What do you notice? It goes way above the 0 degree line. Maybe 5,000 feet above in the air, it's like 40 degrees. 10,000 feet up, 42 degrees. And then we go maybe down a little bit, you're back into the 12 degrees, 11 degrees. But this here is like what we want to call a warm nose. And these are the very annoying setups that we have to deal with sometimes in New Jersey as well. That's the thing that happened with the 26 into the 27 storm. So these warm noses can be notorious for tricking people with snow because they see 26 degrees and then they get disappointed after that it's all ice and freezing rain. That's exactly what happened in our setup on the 26th into the 27th. Exactly what happened. Now we get into Saturday 10 a.m. here. Heavy snow sprang into the Arklatex region. And this isn't just snow. This is some pretty heavy thumping snow. Very dangerous ice storm across Texas in the Arklatex region. That's going to be accumulating a lot of ice here. Could be a lot of problems down there. 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Man, that is a massive snow shield stretching for Texas all the way to the Mid-Atlantic. That is just such a crazy, large snow shield that's unveiling with the system. Heavy crippling ice storm continuing across Arkansas, Texas. And we're going to start to get our part 2 of the crippling icing in the Carolinas. That could also be really bad. However, you do notice that Tennessee has a bit of a warm nose. That could be really interesting. That could be something that could really be very, very interesting. And I wouldn't be surprised if that did happen. Because what you're noticing, why is this happening? Well, there's this thing called cold air damming. So what happens is when you have cold air up north, usually what happens is this cold air sinks south. And you may be like, why does this happen? Because you have a mountain range right here. And what it does is it provides like a barrier shield block to these areas right here. But over here near the Carolinas, it wants to drag cold air south. So this area here could stay snow way longer. Or whatever mixed precipitation here way longer than this area because of the Appalachian Mountain influence that you're having. And as you can see, you don't struggle here with rain. But this rain actually gets all the way up into the Tennessee, Nashville area, all the way into almost western Kentucky. Very impressive warm nose. But again, cold air damming, like I said, cold air comes from the north and surges south. But notice that very heavy snow by the time we get to 4 a.m. on Sunday. That's a thumping of snow for Richmond, D.C., Delaware, and getting into New Jersey. 7 a.m. Look at that snow. Look at that snow at 10 a.m. This could be some very well indicative rates of 3 to 4 inches per hour because of our dendritic snowfall rates and our 20-to-1 ratios potentially with the storm. Notice that this could be very interesting because, first of all, what you're noticing, look at that warm nose creeping all the way up into Ohio. And that's what I'm talking about, the Appalachian Mountains. It could be such a crazy difference. Ohio usually gets a lot of snow, right? And Carolinas don't. This time it could be different because of that Appalachian Mountain influence, and you got that very cold air to the north. This plummets south into the Carolinas, and look at that crazy heavy ice storm that just pummels the Carolinas. But at the other side, you're dealing with heavy rain. No ice, no snow, no whatever. But then when you get into here, that's a different thing. That's a coastal. So your coastal communities may also be struggling with rain as well. And man, this is just a really weird setup. You got rain all the way up into here, then it crashes down here with ice and snow, and then it comes down all the way up here, and it's rain. So this is a very weird setup, but it is a classic cold air damming situation. And I just explained that to you. 1 p.m., and notice what starts to happen. Warm nose really starts to take advantage. Almost up to western PA, the corner of western PA. That's wild. And you still have that crippling ice in North Carolina, Virginia. Getting all the way up into southern New Jersey. Wow. And then 7 p.m., 4 p.m., look at this. You're getting rain across central New Jersey. All the way up into central New Jersey. But you still are just on a tiny bit touch of snow still here. So I think it's all going to be a snow event for central and northern New Jersey. But southern New Jersey may struggle a bit with rain on the end of this event, because your low pressure is getting a lot more closer to this area. But look at this. There's still ice across this area because of that cold air damming. Very interesting. And then this low pressure exits out. Very cold and blustery temperatures. And we're going to talk about some serious cold after that. Taking a look at your temperatures. Oh my god. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. We're going to be talking about negatives here into your Tuesday, into your Wednesday, into your Thursday, into your Friday. Negative 16. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday continues as well. Sunday, Monday. Dude, this is not going to end anytime soon. And if you're actually wondering about the storm setup, let me show you where that cold air damming is taking place here, just so you can have a visual. So this is going to be for your Sunday. And notice this weird green blob. And what you're noticing is some very cold air spilling south into the mountain ranges. This is exactly what I'm talking about, where you have a warm ass temperature difference. Let's say we take a sounding across Nashville, it's 40 degrees, but in the Carolinas, it can be like 26, 25. That is an insanely different temperature profile you're dealing with. That's why in Nashville, you might be dealing with a lot of rain. You may have some snow at the beginning, but I just have a feeling this area could really struggle a lot. I have a feeling we're going to be struggling a lot here to get some sizable snow accumulations. Because look at this. This warm nose gets all the way up into this area, but you're still dealing with this cold air damming situation. And once we get this thing up the coast, look at this. Getting all the way up into western PA. 36, 37, 38 degrees. Warm enough for rain, but it's still ice in the Carolinas because it's still below freezing. And well up north, it's still very cold. But watch what starts to creep out of the Atlantic Ocean once we get into Sunday. 4 p.m., look at that warm air starting to rise out of the southern New Jersey area. You might switch over to rain as well. But however, in central New Jersey and New York City, doesn't really happen that way, so you stay all snow. And then that brutal, unbelievably cold air comes in. I mean, my God, it's cold. This could be pipe shattering cold, pipe bursting cold. My God, this could be horrible for some people. And especially for those ice storm victims that come out of this storm alive. Dude, these temperatures are not going to help at all. I mean, these negatives... my God, dude. I mean, these negatives stretch all the way down into the south, dude. I mean, this is really not good. Really not good. I don't see this ending for February anytime soon. So, like I said, we are not over with winter. And we're not over with it for a long shot. I think February is going to feature even more crazier snow chances. I think there's going to be some even more crazier accumulations in New Jersey as well. Into March, maybe. This ain't ending. You know why? Well, okay. You know what? Let's take a look here at our 500 millibar height anomaly. And you're going to see exactly why this is going to be a very cold pattern. Okay. Let's back up here into Monday, Tuesday. That's your first piece of energy. Significant snowstorm. And you notice that ridge, as long as it's in the west, it's going to really have a trouble to get to east. And it's not letting up. It goes back to the west, and it looks like it's staying locked into the west. Maybe as we get into early March, it starts to shift east, and that's when our winter might be officially at an end. But I think February could be another big month of potentially historic snows as well into the East Coast. Miller B nor'easters, Miller A nor'easters we might have to start introducing. We are going to get more violent shots of cold air, bright pipe bursting cold, and the Valentine's Day snow is going to be coming up. There's always something on Valentine's Day, whether it's something with wind, rain, or snow. Last year was a damaging wind event that gave us 70 mile per hour wind gusts all night. This time, I think it could be something with snow, but we will have to see. Man, I mean, something that Pierre's already screaming to me, we're going to be doing some significant blinding snows for February. This ain't ending anytime soon. As I want to repeat, enough. This ain't ending anytime soon. So, please get ready for this because we are not seeing an end to this pattern anytime soon. If we take a look here at our 12Z Canadian, let's go back this up a bit. Yeah, same idea what I mentioned. Actually, the ice storm's a bit further down into Texas. That could be a huge problem. Arklatex region, Louisiana. Again, what I'm noticing, warm nose surges up all the way into potentially western PA. Yeah, look at this. And the cold air damming situation I was describing in the Carolinas keeps you all ice. Watch this even. You even try to get some rain up into New Jersey, but you're just still barely above freezing, so it's all snow for you. If we zoom into the northeast here, you're going to see very interesting setup because you have heavy snow, right? And you'd think you'd have heavy snow. You get some mixing across New York City into my area, very interesting. If we take a little bit of a profile here. Oh, it came and take a sounding. That sucks. Man, that's gonna be. Nah, let's just hope that doesn't happen. But again, same deal. What we're dealing with here on the European. Does the Canadian show something near the 31st? Does it show any kind of big winter storm? Oh man, it's trying to form it. It is trying to form it. It has the same signal as the European. It's really trying to form something. So we're gonna have to watch that as well. But do we like the cold air as well for the Canadian? Holy crap, dude. Goes even more crazy on that idea. Does it do anything after that storm with the cold? Let's see here. So this is gonna be your initial Arctic surge for Saturday. Not too bad. And then we get into next week here. It doesn't look as bad on the Canadian, but I will say these temperatures will probably be a lot colder here. It's gonna be very concerning. It really will, and I'm just not having a good feeling about this cold blast. This could be some very tundra Arctic cold that even Alaska ain't even experiencing. I mean, this is some extremely dangerous cold, and please, I need you to take this seriously because I'm telling you, this is gonna be some huge problems here, and the snow ain't gonna stop after we reach January 31st. It's gonna keep on getting snowier and snowier as long as we have that ridge out west. So, oh my God, we are in for a pounding winter for 2026. As I was saying, all of this 3 months that we were talking about, absolutely historic winter. I was predicting 3 to 5 feet of snow in New Jersey, and it looks like it is absolutely possible this could come into fruition. Oh my God. So, anyways, guys, I will probably make an update as well tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next one. Again, be aware of this major crippling ice storm in the south. Please, please, please. And if you have a snowstorm for the Mid-Atlantic, I think you could get away with Monday being closed and Tuesday being closed because of the magnitude of the snowfall we are expecting, and there's a potential this could be extremely heavy. So, anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, and have a great rest of your night. Peace out, y'all.